Alright, I am back, and I'll just glance through and see if there's any chats that I missed. Let's go on here. And we'll do the Twitch chats first. Yeah, so just going back real quick to reiterate what Tim Static said earlier, and that 16-bit is the reason why we even have this. They definitely would not have put this on without the input of somebody like deep within the community who's just like, this needs to be here, this is the time to do it. I know that they've been holding on to the board for years now. Yeah, there were always rumors that the board was like hanging around somewhere. I think GGA had acquired one apparently at some point, because there would have been like a handful, but again, I've never gotten a full I've never gotten anybody's like guess as to how many there were, because it was not just in Chicago. I'm pretty sure there was San Francisco as well. It must have been an unbelievable effort, especially to do it on a dedicated T1. Yeah, so Chaotic, you said that it didn't crash on the collection, but did you try like a bunch of teleports against him? Like just like continually until it hit him? Or did it actually like hit him and then, you know, it was just fine? Yeah, I saw the CRT filter. It's not good. I really don't like CRT filters as it is. So like if I'm gonna play something that's like on, you know, a flat screen, you know, just let it be. I don't even put like blitters on this stuff. I just realized that my game screen is above. I have to fix that. Oh, that's right. The resolution I have set differently on here, I think. Anyway. And we talked about the morph back move. Yeah, that would have been great. And we got hit with the raid from Rio. Again, appreciate that. Everybody check out Rio on Twitch and on YouTube. He's got a lot of videos coming out. Some questionable information, but you know, I'll talk to him sometime about that stuff. And Super Bowl. Oh, didn't see you in there before. What's going on, brother? Yeah, having the Shang morphs, obviously. Again, I haven't heard them specify exactly what they did to address that. Because to me, it just seems like they just used an emulator hack to skip load times, which would make sense, but that also can cause like input drops and like sound glitches and stuff. But the sound glitches online are definitely not from that. That's probably, I don't know, that some people thought maybe it was from the record feature or the playback. Like that could, I mean, I really don't know. This stuff is available, you know, for free, technically, and that stuff doesn't happen. Yeah, there are definitely some, we'll call like quality of life things, like fixing the stage bug for Noob Saibot definitely would be a thing. And it shouldn't be based upon like how much like you think like people are gonna play like a certain game in the collection. It should just be fixed. It doesn't. It's just it makes the game like less enjoyable. So then if you play people online, you like constantly have to put in the combat codes which is what we had to do in Xbox Live Arcade UMK3, because every single match you played, it exited the game and then restarted. So it's not like it kept it running in the background and then just like continued from like a save point, which is probably what they should have done, but I'm glad that they adjusted the MK4 emulation to fix the running through characters, because that's just amazing. I think I answered all the rest of these. Yeah, I speaking about the trilogy, as you can see on there, the Eddie Ferrier and Alex, and that's Alex is Lex as we know him today. Yeah, the PC version just looks different. It really, I mean, I don't think any of it is different data. I think it's just how the game is displayed by whatever graphics it uses, like whatever graphics software or hardware. I mean, back in the day, it would have been just, you know, not even like the advanced stuff when people were playing like WoW. So yeah, and also with the Noob Saibot's name is like they could just take the name, the like that audio from, you know, Trilogy, and then just convert it to the format for this and then pop it in there. Really, honestly, like it's something that like a rogue programmer can do. Um, so it's just another one of those things that I think they just want to leave stuff as is as much as possible, to the point where it's just playable, which I don't agree with, but it's just, that's just, it's an understandable position to have. I think we're getting more towards some of the stuff that I missed here. Primal Rage, yeah. Yeah, regular UMK3's stage loop. I don't know like the reason, like why they didn't notice this. I mean, it had to be noticeable. Um, there were those really dumb reasons that people would give, like, oh, they want you to see the new stages more, and it's like, no, that's not why. They goofed on something and they just didn't fix it. But that has been addressed in community hacks, addressed in like a way that would reflect how it should have been originally, and then also with the like random stage ordering and stuff, which is nice to have, because there's just so many stages at some point, and then being able to put in MK1, MK2 stages and stuff like that just makes it more nuts. And MK3 had a loop too. I believe it was on the Soul Chamber. If you uppercut through, um, I believe if you uppercut through to the balcony, it would loop back to the street, and it would just play like, I think it was like 3 stages over and over again. So if you didn't uppercut through, then it would move on to the next stages, which is, again, that's not intentional. That's just something they missed. Yeah, the 16-bit ports are just they are what they are. They got some people like the later ones, UMK3, MK3. I do think that they overall got worse in appearance and sound. Like, it's just there was just too much data. They didn't have the budget to do, or they would have just lost money putting on like the bigger chips. It was so expensive back then. You're talking like I don't know, at certain points, like 5, 10, 15 bucks back then, like per chip, and then like it could all of a sudden have like a new chip will come out, and all the old ones now are, pennies, but nobody wants to use the old chips anymore, and this is just the nature of the beast. Whatever that terminology is when you like half the technology. Yeah, C1776 Production said that he didn't know that you could do the high punch corner lockdown. I'll say this because 1776 Productions doesn't know a whole lot about these games. It's up to Headlock Gaming. Check him out. Facebook. He's on Twitch too, but his Facebook following is just completely nuts. I mean, between him and Tim Static in here, you're talking like hundreds of thousands of followers. All right, I see that. Yeah, no, my cat he was just drinking water. I'll go get him in a second. He's probably done. All right, so Doc has one for sure. That's a GGA. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine them wanting to keep that a secret. Yeah, so Shao Kahn does eventually get hit by the teleports. I guess it really just depends on what he's doing at the moment. You probably snag him out of like projectiles and stuff. Wanted to crash MK3 on Genesis, but I don't know whether Legacy Collection allows for a 2-player match. I haven't gotten to try it yet, but I would imagine it would be pretty tough to disable a local 2-player without having to really change something. But you can, go through and check that out and let us know. Get back to us. You can match MK3 in Legacy Collection, but not a lot of people are in the Genesis. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's really just for posterity to have like these older ports. There are people though who do love them and will play them competitively. There are people who think that like the Genesis version should be the standard. I'm not joking. But that's a little bit crazy. Let's see. I did play a couple matches in 32X MK2. Yeah, I don't know if they fixed the sound yet in MK2. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how they have like a ROM set that doesn't have the MK2 sound. The updated sounds. That's just a really strange like issue to have. You have a 32X emulator. You have an MK2 ROM set for 32X. How did these specific things just not get loaded? Unless it's just like a whole like command set for that stuff that was added separately, and somehow it's just not accessing it. Could be. Just really sounds strange. Yeah. They just used a pre-render cache and built it in. I don't know. Input delay is fixable. I mean, input delay depends like so much on your opponent that not everybody's going to be happy. That's really just not a. You just got to take it as it is. It's net play. It's never going to be perfect. But any input delay that they add or is added by like, I don't know, USB and just like emulation within like a console that already has built-in delay. Like as we saw the list of the input delays and everything, so PlayStation's always like double of Xbox. So it's just inherent. It sucks. The audio Headlock Gaming should be 100% fixable. There's no reason why they can't fix it. I understand if there's reasons why it exists because of just whatever code they're using, but like that's obviously just not acceptable standard. It has to be fixed. So we'll see what happens with those patches. I know there was one that was released, so we'll see what happens. Playing on Steam, there's not much input lag. Offline, yeah, I mean, there really shouldn't be. It just doesn't make sense. Digital Eclipse seems like they only employ like 5 people. It is a relatively small company. One of their employees attacked me for a retro video game post, like 2 sentences. I was really, really taken aback by that. It was like I was the editor for, Game Magazine, ironically, like lying to the public. It was really, really disappointing, and it really made me think like, wow, like this is not a good sign. Yeah, Cyphish, you thought I was Tim Pool from the thumbnail. That's funny. I'm a little bit more handsome than Tim Pool, I think, but at least right now. Yeah, fixes in lobbies. Lobbies and challenge matches. You got to be able to just, you know, click, 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 and you're in playing against your friends. That's it. That's what people want. I know some people like the, you know, random matchups, but even on top of that, like if it was just random matchups and you were getting hits like within seconds, people would definitely not be as upset as they are. Okay, so they did fix the 32x sound. That seems like it would be relatively easy. I think it was, honestly, I'm just gonna guess it's some kind of like, I don't know, maybe like a prototype ROM or something like that. It really just doesn't make any sense to me. I haven't heard any explanation as to how that happens, but let's see. Genesis port had some stuff like jump-in punches, jailing into high punch starters, and a few ninjas. It's still not consistent. Is that new? Is that an issue like that's new, or was that always a thing? I don't have that much Genesis UMK3 experience. And you have to disable blood for certain combos to work. That's funny. Bad sound on Steam. Way more. Okay, that's cool. Let me just check over. There's not really too much action going on the YouTube, but Grim423 on YouTube. What's going on, man? Thanks for the positivity. Wavenet tier list. I mean, I don't think I can't. Does anybody really have a buff? I really think it's mostly just nerfs, and it's very, very selective. He who rules the net, and that's funny. All right, let me see if I can get my cat real quick and have him make an appearance. All right, so here's Noah Man. Say, what's up, buddy boy? He's an old man. He's 16, 17. We got him from my grandparents after my grandfather passed away. Him and his sister, but his sister passed a couple years ago and she got sick. But, yeah, he's saying, I don't want to be on screen. I don't want to be on screen, he says. Very, very squeamish. He doesn't like being picked up. But that's my bud, man. I gotta let him back out now. Like 20 or so, but let's see when we get him. 2009, I think it was. So he's just like 16 and a half, something like that. But we did have a dog who was 2 weeks shy of 17, and she was like a 60-pound dog, which is highly, highly uncommon. It's like equivalent of like, it's like 105 years old or something like that for people. All right, so let's just do a little bit of run with, I think we'll do Sindel. Not going to go for like a 1 credit or anything like that, but yeah, his sister had cancer, and she died back in 2022. I hate that I'm not paying attention to that. Alright, I'm getting back to that. Let's try to get some crazy Sindel combos, as somebody mentioned Sindel before. And thanks for everybody for sticking around. Just gonna run a little ad here, so in case anybody else comes in, they don't get the pre-roll ads. If anybody can still hear me, we're going with Sindel. No, of course, I'm gonna have to reset this again. Good. Yeah, Sindel out there's glitching in. Yeah, I can get the Sindel 80, but we'll have to see. Oh yeah, Katana's good for that, but I just have to get her to jump at me. Like that. I wonder if you have to get a launcher before it'll do the combo breaker, or if it's just if you get like a bunch of hits before launcher. See, the first character's most difficult because they don't follow the rules. See, normally she would have jumped there. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so normally she would jump after throwing the fan. Now she doesn't even want to do that. Come on. Nope, she does not want to do it. Alright, so we're going to try another character. The new Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter movies. So, I've absolutely zero interest in the Mortal Kombat movie. I didn't even see the last one, or like I haven't really seen anything media-wise, like content movies for anything Mortal Kombat since the first Mortal Kombat movie, and I've never even completely watched through Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Everyone hated those movies except for you. Well, that's because you have extremely bizarre taste in everything. Low profile there. Wait for the tackle. I think the dead set or flight cancels are slower in this, but I don't know about that. I have to test that a little bit. You know what it might be is the input buffer may make it a little bit slower. That's probably what it is. It doesn't seem too crazy though. Takes one to know one. One what? What one are you referring to? I'm referring just to you.
Sindel wins. Round 2, fight.
So it's difficult against the male ninjas to get them at the right distance to do the jump in after a projectile. Let's see if I can do it. So his recovery prevents him from acknowledging that I'm in the air. Yeah, see, and he gets a combo like that, so I have to try it against somebody else. Oh, almost. This would be like 60-something. 66, that's exceptional.
Sindel wins. Round 2, fight.
Oh, missed the jab there.
Finish him. Sindel wins. Fatality.
I just did a fatality for you. You didn't have to tell me. Alright, I think I can get her. I'll just try to get her in the right position here. I don't want to do any damage to her. There we go. Let's see what I can do. Oh my god. Go ahead. Alright, I can still get it here now. Oh, of course. That's alright. I can get another try on her.
Two, fight.
If I don't get it on her, I'll let her beat me. Although it will eventually bring her difficulty level back down, which is annoying. So then I won't be able to do it. Oh my god. What do you think of Channing Tatum, Gambit, Deadpool, and Wolverine? I was fine with it. I was entertained by it. I'd like to see him get a bigger role. Or at least a bigger performance for the role. So we'll see what happens. Alright, calm down. Let's try it again. In Mortal Kombat Trilogy, you can play with more characters. That is correct. God. Just trying to do this all for 80% Sindel combo. That's fine.
Round two, fight.
I could have gotten one more in there, I think. Oh my god, of course I screwed it up. That would have been it, though.
Sindel wins.
Might move this all around here. Wow, missed it again. Of course, like the hardest part here. I'll let her beat me again. Do you think people would play Wavenet on Fight Kid? I'm sure, but probably not like a significant percentage. You know, there's just like a stigma towards the changes from anything it's hard to get around. But because it is an official release, it might actually make people a little more receptive to it. Actually, I don't even really know if like official release is like a correct term for it, because it was just a limited market. It's probably really just considered like a prototype beta. Let's see if I can get 73 here. There we go.
Well done. Sindel wins. Round two, fight.
Man, I keep missing that. Alex Smith. Now you want to talk about goats of goats. Alex Smith is he is a longtime personal FGC friend of mine. Go back about 15 years playing this. Also our mutual love of the band Typo Negative. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. This is wild. Not an easy combo, but I usually can get it pretty consistently. Give it another shot. Of course, I just screwed that up there. Wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I think once everything is sorted out with Legacy Collection, its worth will be apparent. But having to get all the games separately is definitely, obviously, way more of an effort. So it is nice to have, you know, with 20 plus ports of Mortal Kombat games all in one. Do you think Mortal Kombat next game needs to be 3D? No, I don't think they ever need to go back to 3D. Ah, man. I'm like losing that last little bit there. I'll be able to get that on. No, I gotta beat her anyway, so.
Sindel wins. Round 3, fight.
So weird that they put in these like CPU like gimmicks. It's like she doesn't want to do the jump anymore. Difficulty level might be too low. I haven't seen anything for the new Virtua Fighter. Oh my god.
Sindel. Round 1, fight.
Almost got a glitch cancel. Oh, I can't get a glitch cancel, that's right.
Well done.
Shao Kahn Conquest. What's that? Really get an idea of the tendencies that the CPU has here when they attack and when they won't.
Round 2, fight.
Man, this is tough. What do I think of Aggressor? Never liked it. Never played with it on when we used to play Trilogy. Everybody was pretty much in agreement that it was annoying. Every now and then you'll find somebody who's like not very proficient in these games who like wants to play with it. It's super, super rare. That's like somebody who just like play against their brothers and just like happens to be around tournaments. So like, okay, so her difficulty level is too low now. How strong is your PC? So this PC is like 2019. So it's a Ryzen 9 3900X. It doesn't have like a particularly strong video card. It's like a 2060, but so when I do tournaments, I don't stream directly from the PC. I only stream off console, so I didn't need a really crazy video card. It's got like 32 gigs of RAM. Like 500 gig SSD or something like that. So close. Alright, I'm gonna move on to another character.
Sindel wins. Flawless victory. Round 1. Fight.
I really don't know if they would add any more games. It would be nice, but I just imagine it has to just be like whatever their budget limitations are. The amount of time it would take to put that stuff on, I just really don't know. RTX 3060 is ready for Grand Theft Auto 6. I really don't know what the minimum requirements are going to be for that. It should be pretty strenuous though. I doubt my PC would be able to run it. Yeah, we have like a full list of the changes for Wavenet. There's some things that are listed that are not real. I'm not sure what happened there. So it just has to be reconfirmed, but pretty much everything is in there. There's some things that I didn't know about that we're just finding out about now. I'm sure it's just stuff that was kind of like lost in translation over the years. The input buffer is something I had no idea was a thing. Never heard anybody talk about it, but it makes certain things impossible. Shit. Just trying to get him to teleport punch me here. He does not want to do it. Frank Rodriguez, you still have my 360 controller? That's hilarious. Is it a wired one? I've like wondered over the years. I'm like, whatever happened to my wired 360 controller? I needed it like last year for something, and then I had to like fish around for like batteries or like a pack. I think it was for one of my wireless ones. Yeah, it had to be a pack. I was like, where the hell is it? Yeah, that's so funny. Oh man. You know what's funny is I've been going over a lot of like history and like results, and there is just like a miscellaneous Frank. Like I know 2 other Franks who play, but they have like specific names, Frankie Bones and Dot Vids. But you're probably just the miscellaneous Frank.
Victory. Round 2. Fight.
Cabal, you really don't have any opportunities to get the 80% on him, so I'm just gonna get past him. Maybe I'll just play against. No man, you hang on to it. Or if you want to come out to NEC next year, I'll be there. We'll have some setup for classics, I'm sure. All right, let me try it on Jax. There you go. 80%. I think I've gotten that like once on somebody in tournament. I've gotten a lot of 73s. At least in casuals. But 80 is really nice. I wish they would have added internal res scale for Trilogy. So I haven't gone to play on there. What is that in reference to exactly? Like you can't change the actual like resolution of the game, like only like the border resolution. Wavenet is my Wavenet is my favorite version of UMK3 by far. I love all the balances. The infinites kind of killed UMK3. Well, so the thing is though, like there's still infinites. Like there's still crazy infinites. You know what? Since I got the 80, I'm gonna switch to Kung Lao because he has limitations now on his spin. I think it's 3 hits, but I want to see. I can still get really sick combos with Kung Lao, so we'll try that for a little bit and just mess around. Yeah, it definitely isn't as bad. They did like get rid of some things. but there's still a lot. Which is fine.
Superb.
Yeah, a few resolution options. Yeah.
Round one. Fight.
With all the nerfs they made, the balance worse. Ultimately, you can upscale the resolution. MK4. Yeah, I saw the MK4 upscaling. I mean, does it? It's hard to tell. Like, does it really make it look that much better? Because it's not upscaling like within the engine. It's just upscaling the image itself. It does make it look better. Okay, that's cool. Nightwolf is still strong. Yeah, of course. So I saw that Nightwolf's because of the input buffer, it makes his 4 axes on male ninjas more difficult. But yeah. All right, so let's see. Let's do some Kung Lao. Yeah, so he's, as you can see, Kung Lao doesn't need his spin necessarily to do that much damage. And even in the corner, if you can use 1 or 2 just to get yourself like positioned properly. Sindel. Yeah, she still has the flight cancel infinite. Smoke corner infinite with cancel. Which one is that? Like the what? The invisibility? He has an infinite with that? Cyrax. Yeah, what the Cyrax air throw infinite? Yeah, that's like you really do have to kind of like just like turtle in the corner if you want to get that, and you're putting yourself in trouble. I like bomb resets. Bomb resets are fun. People thought that he was bad in MK9. I mean, they don't know. They don't know the MK3. Yeah, that's that. I mean, that's a crazy input. So there's all right. So there's the spin at 7. Interesting. So I thought it was 3, but maybe it's after he hits 1. It sounds like a complicated what's it called? Nerf there. So I don't know. I have to say, I could have swore it was 3 hits. What do you think of the console ports? There's something charming about him. Oh no, there absolutely is the charm of those ports. Just to, especially like if you were around when they came out, to remember like the anticipation for them and knowing that you weren't going to get like an arcade perfect port. Like it was just to make that like compensation, like in your brain to say like, this is all they could do and how good of a job they did with it, while at the same time being like, these are really like garbage. It's a, we'll call it cognitive dissonance. I haven't seen them, so I don't know. I don't have the collection yet. I'm waiting until they fix some of the key factors of the online play, and then I'll get it. Scar, thank you for the raid. Got another one. That's awesome. 2 raids in a night. That's a good night. It's like the old days. All right, let's just let's see if I can get a nice combo to set up the multiple spins. Because I have to tell you, I really thought that they limited his spin in this, but it doesn't seem like they did. MK Trilogy on PS1 is bad to begin with, but they did a pretty good job on MKLK. It's just unplayable online. Yeah, they need to add quality of life stuff. If only for the online play, they need to do it. You know, we should just make a list of suggestions and see what they're allowed to do. But you know, it's frustrating. All right, so did his spin not hit there? Because that looked like it did not hit. That might be the limit. I'll try that again. I'm just going to focus on getting that.
Wins. Round 2. Fight.
Okay, so it misses like Stryker's riot gun. Okay, makes sense. DLC rumors, I have not heard anything. Yeah, that's funny. Such a bad way to do it. Should just not come out. I'll have to chastise Lex about that. Yeah, MKT trilogy is fun if you just accept the fact that like the added characters are completely untested. I could have gotten jump kick, dive kick, low punch, and then another hat after that, but I screwed up. So is that direct from the developer that they're going to add those? They have to fix the problems. Like if they don't fix like all the major issues, that's going to be, I mean, KO. So, okay, the input buffer, I think, is causing me to not get that instant upward jump kick, which is what I explained before disables the instant air fireballs. So by like hitting like up in a direction at the same time, it's just like a frame or two slow. Didn't they say they have no future plans for Legacy Collection, but they are open to ideas? That I could absolutely see them saying, but I don't know. There's just some things that need to be addressed. Oh, almost got it. At least 3 patches. I know they said there's one more coming. I really don't know how much they're going to put into this, like how much money it's going to cost them to patch something that they probably wish they could have just like left as is. Re-release trilogy with Chameleon and quality of life stuff. So it really shouldn't be a pipe dream. Like, so I could understand them not touching the graphics. So first off, they can't increase the resolution of the graphics because that would be a nightmare to have to go through and adjust all the code with all the math to fix everything because it would change a lot of stuff. They'd have to do the backgrounds and everything too. I can understand that. Changing the audio, like increasing the quality of the audio would require like emulation tweaks, but I think that's possible. I mean, they could tell me like, no, we're not allowed to do that, or it's just not feasible. It would take like a year or something like that. Like, which, okay, fine. But changing the music, like fixing the music and making it like a like external, like not like the CD audio, loading it that way, just loading it from like the game, the game environment, would be tremendous. So the correct pitch, the correct speed, and also like the fatality, like the finishing music, the round ending, music, they could do all that. And I honestly don't think that would be too crazy, but again, that could be the pipe dream. They can add filters. MKLK had filters. One's like called painted. I honestly don't. None of that stuff interests me. The filters are like that stuff, like Fatality Trainer, like some of these other things. Like they just none of it interests me. We just want to have like solid, ability to play these games. Yeah, I could not jump there. Man, poor Stryker. I even botched that. It was 54%. Practice mode's good. I haven't gotten to check that out yet. So that is tougher in the corner without having like that spin that I need right there to pop them back up. So I'd have to hit that a little bit differently. Yeah, Trilogy's going to look bad. So if you think that the arcade versions look ugly, Trilogy's lower quality than the arcade. Yeah, I get it. Shad to me, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, just messing around with Wavenet, seeing what I can do with Kung Lao without having access to like a second spin in combo. But I've just been really just kind of talking to the chat and not paying attention. I'm sure modders will eventually find res upscale option. Yeah, probably. I mean, the system can do whatever it can do to an extent, but you got to remember, like these characters are tiny. Like they are so small. The resolution, the vertical resolution of the game is 254. So that means that a character is like 100 pixels tall at like tops, probably 96. There's a nice. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. MKLK Kollection, I heard pretty universally panned in terms of online play, but it didn't have the same type of problem as they have right now. Xbox Live Arcade was hit or miss. It was sort of your standard like internet experience for the time. I think I had like a really bad connection, and that was most of my problem. So I really couldn't tell you. Throw a fatality in there for you guys.
Fatality.
All right, we can move on to somebody else. Guess we'll do Ermac because he has the nerf for the telekinetic slam. Let me just run out another 1 minute. Thanks for everybody who was rated in here by Scar and Rio for sticking around. You know, seems like a lot of you have. Sorry about that. I screwed that up. It's funny, I just realized that the chat was working earlier. What happened? Sorry, I'm just adding the chat back in. I don't know what happened. I don't know when that went off. Alright. That should be back. I know that YouTube was not working. I contacted, I use XSplit, which is like an alternative to OBS. It's just that I have a professional license for it. So I've stuck with that over the years. Let's see. Alright. Let's test the chat. Alright. So chat for Twitch works, but it does not work for YouTube, I don't think. So they have not fixed that yet that I can tell. Crypto loses 92 billion in 1 hour. Ouchies. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Shah. That came through. Yeah, it'll go up and down though. UMK3 2006 was good if the connection was good. Well, that's inherent to anything. But yeah, I get that. But my issue with it was the frame skip. That was really bad. And then I noticed many years later when I fired up my Xbox 360 to go check some ranks on it, I noticed that it was even getting frame skip offline. So I don't know if that was just like my Xbox like underperforming, or if maybe they bloated the user interface too much or something like that. But it just was not acceptable at that point anymore. It was really good though. It was really good at one point. All right, let's do some Ermac. I have to just remember that I can't do. Let me get that back there. Okay. Okay. So see, he can't do a second lift there, so you have to basically max your combo out in a different way. Yeah. Yeah, Detroit Shang Tsung in there. Yeah, he does have a good Shang. Yep, see with the 5 hits there, so you can't do teleport after that. You can't do another telekinetic slam, so that was a good punish there. Even that, I mean, even that's a good punish. It's like 40 something. 40, 41. But he can do his normal, he has normal bread and butter, like this. Well, I wouldn't call that normal bread and butter, but it is, in effect. Pablo the Mex, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so because the lift now counts as a hit, it reduces the number of hits you can do to satisfy like the time between the telekinetic slams, but you still can. I mean, at least versus the CPU. Let me see what I can get versus the CPU, because they don't block. I have to go on the other side for that. Here we go. Yeah, see, I think I could get one there, and he just wouldn't block it. But it should be possible to do another one. Let's see what happens. Give me another bike kick. Have to wait just like a little bit. Actually, if you start with a telekinetic slam, it's easy to get a second one. So let me just do that. Yeah, so you can still get 2. It's just that counting as a hit prevents you from getting that like really maximized optimal UMK3 vanilla damage. I don't know if they fixed the air throws. They probably didn't. I wish I knew like all the like technical terminology and like there's like different names that they call things in the source code. So they have like, when you're like in recovery frames, like for certain things it's called like sitting duck, and then there's like I think that dash kick is called like Jade underscore prop, which is propelled, I believe it stands for, because she moves, but it's just kind of strange, like it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, see, 5 hits. Third Strike Junkie. Thank you for the chat. Why don't you get a mixed box instead of using a keyboard? Because I can do it with just a keyboard. It's fine. I only do this on stream. So, you know. But I do see what you're saying. That's not the first time I've been asked that. So that was a punish there. So that would be like an optimal in that situation. Yeah, Ermac and Trilogy on N64, they're crazy like visually, but like that's only because they removed his recovery for his teleport punch. Like there's no cooldown on it, which is kind of strange. I should just try to get 100%, but just missed that. Let's try to sneak him over here. So that was 83 plus at least 5. So 88, maybe. Yeah. No, there was 2 lifts in there, so it was 94. And you get the acid spit stuck on the ground there. It's the best version of UMK3 between PS1, Saturn, and N64. You mean Trilogy. So PlayStation is better than Saturn, for sure, because they're a direct like copy. Well, Saturn's like a direct copy of the PS1 like PC version, but PlayStation 1 is just better. In terms of N64 versus PlayStation 1, it depends on like if you like the changes in the N64 version. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. I personally don't. And I like having, you know, more characters. Like if you're gonna have a busted game, like have as many characters as you can. You think one is better than the other in general? Are they tournament legal in Trilogy now? Oh, Chameleon. I've never heard anybody even suggest Chameleons to be legal in tournament. It's never even come up. I don't know. It would just be interesting to see people use the character. I mean, there's only so much you can do. It's not like you have access to all the moves at once. It's just basically like a Shang Tsung morph cycle. You know, it's like every several seconds. I don't even know if there's ways that you can get them to stay. I know that in PlayStation he will get stuck as Noob Saibot. That is a thing. So it's just kind of a, I don't know, it's just like a buggy character. It's never really played as Trilogy Chameleon. I have very, very limited Trilogy experience. I just know from doing like some combo videos, and then I played like in a couple tournaments. I think it was like the first time I ever played like a serious like competitive match was like 10 years ago at a tournament. But fortunately we had arcade sticks, so that was good. I didn't have to play on the N64 controller. I think is a nightmare. Just went for like a CPU combo there. Kentaro is not playable on N64, so it's inferior. That's funny, Gandhi. Absolutely. I hear that. Everybody say hello to Gandhi in the chat. He's a long-time NRS player, supporter, big personality in the scene. So yeah, it is definitely tougher with Ermac. Not too much, but it's, you know, it definitely brings them down to earth. But if I could get them to come to the corner here, I could show you. I mean, I obviously showed you 94% before, but you can do more. Almost got that. Yeah, it's like just out of the range. You can, I think Nightwolf, you can legitimately juggle with 2 jabs. Let's do a relaunch. He's of course being a pain in the ass right now. Wow. Jesus Christ. There's no change in the AI here, by the way. This is just how he is. Now he's going to get hurt. So there's that 5 hits that, again, removes a teleport punch in that situation. Nice little tag action there. Was almost like a cameo. Oh, missed that, but got it anyway. A little reunion here with between Alex and Candyman. Very cute. So there's your limitation. Still gets 46% though. It feels very MK4 to me to put something like that in there. What I would have done is I just would have made the second launcher, or the well, I guess in this case the third launcher, because the amount of hits that they use to stop it. Just do regular uppercut recovery, or we did actually we disabled them by having it do like a roundhouse knockdown, which allows you to recover sooner so you can get better position, but it doesn't allow you to juggle. That's not too good. Oh, you were at DreamHack. Very nice. City of the Wolves. Okay. See, I just went to do like a quick like up forward jump there, but it did not come out. Again, I don't know if that's input buffer. See if I can get him to do a teleport, and I'll try to low punch juggle into TKS. Like that, but there we go. That was blockable, but missed that. I have not gotten to try that yet, unfortunately. I haven't really been to any events that I wasn't like running a stream at, where I could like kind of get in on casuals. But I've been doing those iron grids, and they do run that there. I'm pretty sure they do. Oop, hit him back in. Oh, so what do you what kind of business you running? Yeah, I'd like to meet Katana someday. Yeah, Kentaro was beloved. Oops, screwed that up. Just kind of flowing here, not really even like. Just trying to remember like what not to do. Yeah, that's the 5 hits. That was a good one. Nice dog walking, dog training. Very, very, very nice. Yeah, get certified for sure. Mess that up. Yep, can't do. That's just trying to like calculate the number of hits now. There you go. Almost got that. Yeah, Ermac is so fun. Just gotta try to keep him out here. Oh my god. Alright, we'll move on to another character. I'm not trying to go for 1 credits on these, it's just that I just happen to be winning without really thinking about it. I'm trying to think of who else they really changed other than Stryker. We did like a little bit with him before. Alright, I guess we'll just go with him real quick. Does the coin skip still? Oh, like putting credits in? I'm sure it still does that for continues, but I don't know if it does it for those screens. At least I haven't seen it do it. So that's a punish there. So Stryker can't hit his gun, similar to how Kung Lao can't get the spin. So you see he does it, but which is funny though, because when he hit the ground there, he still blocked it. So it must just apply to air only, I guess. Again, and just another strange way to like balance something. It's like the fact that they acknowledged that maybe something needed balance, but then the way they did it is just really hack. Like when we did TE, we tried to balance stuff in like a how like they already do things sort of way, and not like creating like some other like it's really kind of like a bit of trolling. Nice, you've been playing MK2? What is better, this game or Trilogy? I mean, better, I guess, like, it's interesting because, like, paradoxically, as these MK3 series games go on, like, they become less complete as a whole, even though they add more stuff to it. I would say that, like, MK3 is, like, the best game in terms of, like, totality, but, like, UMK3 is, like, the best gameplay of that MK3 series. And then if you want more characters, you got Trilogy for N64, which also changes a lot of, you know, things here and there about the gameplay. And then you add even more characters. Now, technically, you go from like MK3 to UMK3 to UMK3 on the 16-bit systems, and that adds more characters. And then Trilogy and N64, which I think actually came out after PlayStation. I don't remember. I think there's like a month or two difference. But then you get even more characters on PlayStation, so yeah, Stryker, he's man, just not having the Riot Gun Infinite is definitely a problem for him. But you can get like a little bit. Oh, I had like a turnaround on that. Do you prefer these types of player models compared to the modern games? I do like high contrast characters in fighting games, just the way like my eyes work and when they stand out from the background. So like MKX was a nightmare to play because the shading on it is color shading, and all the characters blend into the background. And I'm not colorblind. It's just that it's annoying to play a video game and have to like differentiate background from foreground like that is very, very irritating. So yeah, when they would do like classic costumes, obviously we just like prefer those, like the OGs. Like we just like, okay, cool. Like they put in like the the stuff that we're familiar with. I think it just looks better for a game. So I think that's all you can get with him for that. Still good though. Stryker's jabs were fixed. Would that be a fair trade? If he could do run jabs, like if they lowered the hitbox on them, I mean, yeah, that would definitely help him. Goro in Trilogy is busted. Well, so he has that spinning lariat, and against the bosses, it is an infinite because it knocks them up. But in I think it's like a 1-frame startup too, like similar to the spin against the. That's so funny. The regular characters, I don't really remember exactly. So we didn't really play as the bosses that much back in the day. Throw a fatality in there.
Stryker wins. Fatality.
Testamenta Zemus. Yeah, Trilogy's just it's funny because it's like it's still the same game, but it's like more of a party game. If you take it seriously. But I don't see why you can't play it in tournament. And I honestly wouldn't even ban Noob Saibot and Rain. I mean, they used to want to ban both. They, meaning like people who like were not totally familiar with like tournaments. But they would definitely be a problem. Noob Saibot versus Cabal. I mean, I honestly don't really. I mean, Cabal as is in Trilogy, he can still contend with him. Yeah, so Legacy Collection, I'm just waiting until they fix, all the bugs. See what happens. So he can get, he can get at least one then in there. That's good. That's still big damage. If you can get anywhere near 50%, which it would have been more, there's nothing really to complain about. So yeah, if I would have hit that low kick, that would have been 50. I like how he puts his initials in there. Do people play vanilla MK on 3 on Fightcade? Not really. If anything, people just like play it to test stuff out, maybe. But it does not have any following. Liu Kang is whooping me right now. Yeah, the Jurassic Park. You didn't say magic word. So when we did the Stryker Riot Gun balance in TE, I think we just made it 5 hits. You could still get crazy damage. So it would just disable like a teleport punch or the harpoon. Yes, I am using a keyboard for my inputs and for my directions, and my buttons are on the stick. So the reason why I started doing this, because otherwise I would just normally just play on the keyboard alone, is either on this PC or this particular keyboard I'm using, because I have like another keyboard in the house that's kind of like hard for me to detach. I thought I was getting input issues because of the keyboard locking, but I don't think that's what it is because I still get them sometimes. It's not as bad, but that means it's either the emulator or like, I don't know, USB. Maybe on this PC's. I mean, I have like my polling rates set to 1,000. I don't know. It's just preference. I don't know if they added cooldown, but that's like the second time I haven't been able to do it that way, where it just doesn't come out. Thought it was me the first time. Yeah, this is, yeah, I guess this is, what is this, Guilty Gear? Yeah. So I didn't, this particular, this is a Kombat Obsidian. This particular one I got from Big E. Several years ago I started doing conventions as well as tournaments. And at conventions, most people do not bring gamepads or arcade sticks with them to them. So I decided, I was like, I need a bunch of sticks and I need a bunch of PS4 controllers at the time. So I just said, what kind of like inventory do you have? And I'm like, I'll just like take that as payment. I mean, it saved me probably like, you know, $1,500 or something at the time. That's so funny. So I got 4 sticks. There's 3 obsidians and a crystal. So I have 2 of these, and then I have a solid black obsidian and a crystal. And then I got like, it was like 16 or 18 PS4 pads, which they did help a lot for several conventions. So that was good. So that's basically like an optimal there, but it's still 53. So you can take that. And that's the limit there. What the hell this other one is? Brought out the MK9 stick for Legacy. Yeah, I have several like HAP American style MK3 button layout sticks. It's just that this one is like not buried, and I bring this to tournaments. So like when I play like Street Fighter and stuff, or Marvel really. So that's why I'm using this one in particular. But I get the block button in the middle right here. You can see, which is fine. I've been using this particular layout on a Hori style stick for like 25 years. So that's pretty good. 46. You could max that out to 50. Yeah, the input on a like Japanese style stick is fine, but like if I played on stick, I have to play on a HAP. I can't play on one of these. So I wonder if you can't block it when you're on the ground, because that is funny. It just doesn't hit them in the air, which is a thing in this. You can in UMK3 and I guess the other MKs as well. You can make it so that moves have different properties if they're in the air or on the ground. Like Nightwolf's axe uppercut has like full invincibility to jump attacks, but not to ground attacks. It's kind of like the opposite of this. That looks like it says hypnotic poison, if my Cyrillic is correct. What is different about Wavenet? Well, there's quite a bit. I'm sure that if you just set your MAME settings up so that you can access the ROM file and play it online. I'm sure it would work. It might desync, but we used to do it with like the Juggernaut hack and stuff, and the Zeus hack even before that, and those worked. But really, I think the desyncs are more dependent on the person's computer and their connection. Look at that. Okay, so it isn't if you use the riot gun. It's just that it's disabled after 5 hits or 6 hits in general. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna back out and go to somebody else. So yeah, so Stryker's riot gun being disabled, big deal, and also not having relaunches on like the robots and stuff. Like he would need that against like robot smoke. Wavenet news. Yeah, it definitely does not skip this part. Nightwolf. So the only thing about him is not a direct nerf, but that the input buffer makes his 4-axe combo on the male ninjas in particular more difficult because it barely hits them. So let's see if I can get it. Headlock Gaming, what is going on in the YouTube chat? So you can do a sweep, force a sweep at him with a jab, punish with a shoulder tackle. Matthias Costanzo, what happened there? There's nothing wrong with your message. You didn't have to delete it. So this is not what we're talking about, but that is 4 axes for you there. Are you playing right now? You getting? Are you getting faster connections for matches? Yeah, I think that was my fault there, but. That probably should have worked. But so about how much time are you having to wait? Because I was watching people and it was minutes at a time. Yeah, it was my fault. Alright, so that was 4 on him. It's much easier on Sub-Zero. People saying that's Lex revision. Yeah, it is. Oh my god. Missed that one. Yeah, it does feel a little bit sticky on the things that are essentially like 1 frame. And it's like you can like open up the frames with that combo if you get something like better sooner. Like if you get like the first 2 hits optimal, then like the second 2 are much easier. But if you don't get the first 2 optimal, then you have to be optimal on the second 2. So it's an interesting window. Ooh, wow. That was good. Yeah, but even with turning off like cross region, if there's like I don't know 100 people playing, I guess it's really not a lot. But yeah, Neo Behemoth. Yeah, they do. They need to fix the input delay for sure. Alright, so yeah, once again, if you're tuning in, this is some UMK3 Wavenet on MAME. It is not on the collection. There's nice 4x on Jax for you. 4x Jax. So yeah, some people were reporting on Steam that they could not connect to anybody, and if they did connect, that it immediately crashed. And then they fixed that, I think, yesterday. I think they said. But people were still having problems. So again, there's no direct changes to Nightwolf, but I'm just seeing how this. Yeah, so I can still get it on him pretty easy, but I don't think that the input buffer would have any effect on it. So you're still crashes at the beginning of a match. Do you actually get to like see like an opponent listed or anything? Oh my god, my shoulder. Oh. Ooh, let's see. Let's see if this counts. No, you can still do this. So that is blockable, but the computer doesn't block it. So Wavenet is like only available in like the last, like, I don't know, less than 48 hours, I'd say, for MAME, because they dump the ROMs. So you just have to know where to get it, basically. Right now, it's, I guess you can kind of say it's like invite only. Let's see if I can get him back over here. You got me there. I'll try that again.
Round 3, fight.
Boom, boom, boom. That is not Wavenet. That's just how that happens. Uppercut range is not good for the robot ninjas. Yeah, it'll be, honestly, it'll probably be available on like ROM sites like pretty quick. Okay, I don't know if that was like a CPU thing, but that was very funny that he just threw me out of it. I'll try that again. Easier against him because he'll go right into the corner with a teleport uppercut. Uppercut hold. You know, I'll do an axe uppercut to him. That should get him where I want him. Yeah, I'm very surprised that they didn't get rid of that. I found that on Super Nintendo in like '96. Yeah, that might be a little trickier with the input buffer. The input buffer makes some things feel like, I don't want to say exactly like, but more like MK2. MK2 may have like a bigger input buffer in general. I have to ask Conqueror what he did. If he fixed, if that was something that he addressed for Tournament Edition. So, yeah, alright, so we've seen enough of him. Let's see what else we got. Oh my god, for another 1 minute. Yeah, the Sektor and Jax Their limitations, I'll just demonstrate them real quick, because I'm pretty sure they weren't fixed. Ooh, that was quick. Oh shit. Alright. So, let's see. I just gotta redo my buttons. I said before, I was like, I'm probably not gonna do this, but here I am. So, block and... Nope. Do player 2 up. Okay, now I have independent control of both of them with the same inputs. I used to do this back on just on a regular arcade stick. So Jax charging his ground pound, he can do missiles, as you can see. I'll wait for the other one. And he can do his dash fist and gotcha grab. But so we'll do, I should just make all the buttons the same, but you can see he cannot do gotcha grab or I know he can do missiles, he can't do gotcha grab or dash. That is definitely an oversight. So typically, holding the kick button disables, either kick button, as you can see, disables special moves. But for Jax, they made an exception where he can do the special moves while holding low kick. Now with other characters, you wouldn't be able to do that, even if they don't have a charge move. It's the same thing as like holding the run button. You can't do special moves when you hold run. And technically with block too. So if you catch like a block input and you try to do a move, like if you're still holding block too long, even if you like, you have to be like within 3 frames or maybe less. So same thing with Sektor is that he can't do his missiles. I'm just gonna speed through this. Just using the throttle there in case you were wondering what the hell that was. Shit. Sorry. Do that again. Shit, I keep hitting the wrong button. I should set this up better, but... I've heard that Legacy Kollection has some input delay. So I'm not using Legacy Kollection right now. But yes, it does have input delay. Okay, now we have both sectors. Okay, so with Sektor here, you can see he can do well, we call this one the smart missile, and then the straight one is the dumb missile, because the smart one tracks and the dumb one doesn't. But, hold on. Rather than, let's do, don't need that. Alright, now that should make me have control. I don't want to do block, is that's right. We'll do block up there. So now he can move around. Okay, so he cannot do a dumb missile with the smart missile on the screen, which is a huge difference for these characters. I mean, it doesn't move them up on the tier list or anything, but playing one-on-one, clearly that's a big advantage to have. But in MK3, vanilla MK3, I believe neither Sektor can do it, and I think it goes back in Trilogy as well, which makes me think that possibly maybe in UMK3 1.1, because this is 1.2, 1.1 he might not be able to do it on either side either. But it's clearly a buff that they wanted to give him, so both characters should be able to do it if you had the choice, and that was fixed in some community hacks like Drew's UMK3 Plus and Conqueror's TE. I don't know if it was really done in anything else though. This is how I used to play practice mode back in the day, by the way, where I would have like both characters controlled on one, stuff like this. But yeah. Oh, you need the noob hack ROM? Yeah. So I'm going to talk to Conqueror and see what he wants to do about that to get it out there. I'll do some more. I'll pause it on here so I can see. Oh, it is? Wait, it is on Russian Hack Ultimate Cup. It's fixed on Ultimate Cup? Let's see. I think we went through everything. Like I said, it's honestly not really that much stuff. Is there any way to play UMK3 online other than getting the Legacy Collection? So you could play on Fightcade or on MAME on Kylera. I think you could still probably... can you still play on Arcade Collection? I don't know if that's even a possibility. If the servers were... I guess I'm assuming they'd be shut down by now. But maybe there's a PC version, but nobody plays on that. So basically, Fightcade is your best bet currently. And there's a downloader for that where it automatically gets you everything. The Unknown Spy. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Been a fan for a long time. Were you on Ultimate MK? Or, do you go back as far as like Dark Templars or anything like that? If I would know you back then, or have you been a lurker all this time? Let's see. I can't think of anything else that there would really be to test here. I'm just going to go with Turanbeck. We'll go with that. What's going on? Thanks for joining us over on YouTube. I got Conqueror actually messaging me right now. I don't know if he's watching. Let's see. He said he's not working on anything right now. Documenting the changes between 1.2 and Wavenet. Easily understandable language, we'll say. Special move requirements and restrictions. So Conqueror is actively working on like an official sort of a release on everything. I know there are some things that are posted right now, but he's gonna get to the bottom of things. But I'll ask him to come into the chat. Let's see. Maybe I'll get him in on Discord or something, so I'll be on here for a little bit longer at least. Let's see. I never got to play. Actively playing UMK3 cabinet on the collection. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, hopefully they work through these problems. It is frustrating, and I'm gonna be totally honest. Like most of us expected it to be bad, but not like bad in terms of like what's missing that people really want, and like while we understand like the reason for releasing this stuff, it's like, yeah, but we're still here. Like we're still like, you know, we're the ones who ultimately get shit on. So this is where we are. But again, they are addressing things, and hopefully the important stuff is fixed. And really, like, get those lobbies, get those challenger matches, fix the sound is, you know, I know people saying it's still there, but there's, so far as we can tell, no reason for that to be a thing. Unless there's just like some limitation to their servers that we don't like understand how it works. I mean, like, you always have to take that into consideration. You don't know what you don't know. But it's not unreasonable to be extremely disappointed. I don't know what kind of time constraints or budget limitations they had, but here we are, you know. So it's motivated me at least to come on here and play a little Wavenet, because we've been talking about this behind the scenes for almost 25 years now, at least on message boards and in group chats and, you know, social media. It always comes up every now and then. And so finally people get to, you know, mess around with it. And honestly, really, it's like a small community effort, but just done in what would be considered an official capacity. So it's not like, you know, Ed Boon was like getting feedback from players and then they were releasing, you know, new chips for updates for arcade games between like MK1. And really, honestly, I think a lot of the updates for MK1 were just due to like the eventuality that they would switch hardware. So, but that's another story. Morse Code 30, thank you for the follow. I expected more, and I think that's not unfair to ask or say. No, it isn't. It's, again, so if people were just to be like, okay, this is what we released, and this is what we have to deal with, and that's it, and nobody said anything, that would be terrible. But it is like overwhelming to have like people just like constantly like beating down the obvious. It's just, the problem is that the obvious is so important. Like I said, I'm glad that they're addressing stuff. I don't know how far they can take it. There may just be a limit of what they can do and be like, look, guys, we're not making enough on this for it to be worth to support. Here's your, you know, offline collection of games so that you don't have to go out and hunt down all these old titles. I mean, as you can see behind me, I've already done most of that, and I could play it on real hardware if I want. So, you know, here we are. Top Tier Lust. Hey, Shock. How's it going? Have you tried playing UMK3 online with MAME? It's better than Fightcade. It depends on how far your opponent is and how good their computer is. Pretty much just like Fightcade. There's some input issues with Fightcade here and there. But Fightcade has just a better overall system. That's really what it comes down to. It's easier to play on. There's just more people playing on it. And I guarantee you, if Fightcade were not as viable, then people will be playing on Kylera. And I played on Kylera 20 plus years ago. I think 2003 I was playing on Kylera when my first computer that could actually like play the game full speed. But the issue back then was most people didn't have a computer that could play Mortal Kombat games full speed. So you would constantly desync, and they would constantly have frame skip. It was a nightmare. And honestly, it still was a nightmare. Probably, like I would say, even up until 10 years ago. People still probably even have issues with it. Nobody knows how to do their optimization properly. But yeah, the Coach Stryker thing. Yeah, we went through all that and all this stuff. So I went through all the changes, that at least the ones that are listed. But yeah. I may have to look into getting whatever is necessary to play online with you, at least. So, like, we'll see what happens. Even if they do fix this stuff, like if I play people online, I'm only gonna play people that I'm like friends with, just to like do content for their streams, or, you know, first to 10 stuff like that. So I'm not really gonna be like playing, you know, random matches. But We'll see what happens. I'm not going to get it until they fix this stuff. And I had it for Steam the day before, and then there was just like 2 things that they said were not going to be available on launch, and I was just like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it. I'm not buying these to collect the games. I'm buying these to, play them online and serve a purpose. And at this point, like, make content. So, you can't make content when it sounds like you're getting blasted by the Ghostbusters Proton Pack when you're playing online. Christ almighty. The auto mod, I'm going to allow it. I can't pronounce that. Chur, almost sounds like it could be French. Churmecra. Do you have a recommended button layout for a Japanese stick? So, back when Trilogy was on PlayStation, I had an arcade stick called the Blaze, which was like a knockoff Hori. It was really like crappy parts, but it was the identical like layout and spacing of this stick. I'll bring up a picture of it so you can get an idea. But they had it for Dreamcast as well, like I think in like a 6-button. But I had 2 of these. Let's see. All right. I'm finding a good shot here of one. How are there no good shots of this thing? This is unreal. I have like pictures of this thing with like the cardboard still around the sticks to prevent them from breaking, which they did break very easily. The buttons would break, the sticks would break. So eventually I had 2 sticks and only one of the 4 controller. Only one of the 4 controllers had both buttons and sticks working. All right, let's do this. We'll save that. And I will go to my ad screen because coming up this weekend, we have a Mortal Kombat 1 tournament at Gamers Grove in Cedar Grove, New Jersey for Mortal Kombat New Jersey, and we will be streaming it at 2 p.m. And that is with Darth Arma and his now 6.5-year gaming series that he's been running. So that is the Blaze. So as you can see, this stick is essentially identical to what I'm using right now, except just really, really crappy parts. Like those buttons are like very textured and soft, but all things considered, worked very, very well. So I used this for Trilogy, for Third Strike, CVS2, Alpha 3, and I had like Dreamcast converters as well, so I could use the so I could use this on a Dreamcast. It was very, very useful. So the layout that you see here, what I would use is, if you see the L2, that was the run button. R1 on the right was high kick. R2 was low kick. Block was next to R2 in the middle. And low punch was between L2 and I'm guessing that's a circle button. So you still sort of get the MK layout. It's like a U shape to the right, and then run button is dropped on the side. Some people like the block button on the top. Some people like it on the bottom. I prefer it on the bottom. It just seems more natural. So yeah, so that was my preferred layout and still is. So I hope that answers your question there. Poi Ryozun. Hold on a second. Let me try to... Okay, I have one question for you. I have a PS4 Plus, PS5. How can I play all the Mortal Kombat games? Well, I guess you're going to have to buy Mortal Kombat Legacy. Because that basically has all the arcade games, and then you can get some of the other games. I mean, you can get everything after MK9. I don't think there was no MK9 PS4 release. I don't know if there's been any backwards compatibility for the PS2 games. I'm not like fully versed in that, so. Nightmare James, what's going on? Yeah, I'm up. I'm usually up at this time anyway. But I figured I would hop on with some Wavenet. There was a streaming service for PS3 games on PS4. Oh yeah, that's right. But how good did that work? That is a question that I have. So let's go back here. So we had Headlocked on the YouTube. So if Headlocked, if you're still in the chat, does the Wavenet ROM that you have, is that with Noob Saibot enabled? Because the Wavenet ROM that was dumped, you can't play as Noob Saibot because it doesn't connect properly. And Conqueror has fixed that. Yeah, okay, so Nicholas said after that he had it as well. Yeah. Yeah, so November, November, was it November 4th? Or 5th? I don't remember. But yeah, the official UMK3 arcade anniversary is tomorrow, yeah. I'll do an Instagram post for that. Whenever that is. I have to double check though. I know that when I originally played it in the arcade, it was like mid-November. I mean, again, it was 30 years ago, but the best I can remember from that it was definitely mid-November. But if it was out as beta, that makes sense that they would do it like the month before. Yeah, definitely the arcade games are going to get a bump. I mean, all these games are going to get a really big bump in streaming. So we'll see some interest definitely increase. So yeah, so you mentioned that nobody is practicing like basics like punishing optimal combos. I am currently working on a combo tutorial series that will be fully narrated, with definitely some visual explanations and slow motion pausing, all of the types of stuff that people usually like for those things. It's going to go over everything though. So we'll start. I'm going to be doing this with Dead, and he's recording combos for me, and I'm starting to piece stuff together. So yeah, we're gonna get this out. I don't know how long it's gonna take me. I'm hoping to do something like this month. But yeah, so we'll start with like basics and just showing like how the combo system works, like everything like top to bottom, and then I'll do individual characters, and we'll show pretty much just everything optimal, practical, and then like the crazy stuff we'll throw in at the end, just because I know that Dead, it's boring to him to have to record these these little meaningless combos and stuff like that. But I just want people to see like, what, this is your option. Like in this situation, you don't have to settle for just an uppercut or something like that. Yeah, you know what? And N64 trilogy, I think if they were able to put it on, they would have. But we just have to wait and see. If it does well enough, people were saying that there's a chance that they may add some more games. It would be nice to see. Maybe they'll do that in like gold, but I just don't know what the rules the rules are, so to speak. Yeah, James, I will get this for Steam once everything is solved. I'm gonna take a little sip. I've been talking a lot. Dr. Pepper product placement. I don't know if I have to put that in the YouTube description. A little ASMR for you. I hate that sound, by the way, even when I do it myself. So I'm gonna do some demos here real quick. Let's show some examples. Really common stuff. Let's do like human smoke. So Chermekra, am I pronouncing your name right? Or Kremekra, if that's French. Or if it's something completely, if I'm completely off and that's just a word I'm making up. No, you don't. They reduced it for Wavenet, I'm assuming, to get like more ad time. Alright. So let's go. I gotta do human smoke code real quick. Oh shit. Wow. Still picked it up. That's pretty good. Let's do. We'll just put the code on as is. There it is. Okay. Infinite time, for whatever reason, was not working when I tried this earlier. But I can give like some examples here. So like if you like block a teleport punch, let's see. You would see people maybe do like punch spear. I forgot it's gonna do a freaking uppercut because of the block window. So maybe you see like people do that, like this combo. It's okay. It's like 40 with the air throw, but like you want to see people doing like the really like wild combos. So like basically, let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to get used to this. Alright, we're just gonna let the time run out here. Again, this is like just for punishments. Oh, it's Chrome Core. Okay. That is funny. Is there any reason why you left the O's out on that one?
Round 2, fight.
Alright, so that broke. That was my fault. I'm like screwing that up here. Even that, I mean, 58 is like, it's actually a little more than that. So like that is, plus the air throw is like 67, 68%. Really like wild, and you rarely see people do that. I mean, only, you know, like top smoke players are really like using that. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's a 68. I wish I had the infinite time. I gotta maybe just load up regular UMK3. Actually, yeah. Let me load up different